Hey everybody, welcome to another review. It is 10:16 p.m. As all of you are well aware of, it is Deadpool and Wolverine opening night, if you will. And as per usual, be spoiler free. And if you like the content of my channel, please hit the subscribe button below and spread the word to your friends and family. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the details of this review. Deadpool and Wolverine is the ultimate team-up film that majority of us comic book fans were yearning for years upon years upon years. And then when set photos of Deadpool and Wolverine emerged onto the internet, you have Wolverine, Hugh Jackman, wearing the classic X-Men suit. Right then and there, people were already on board. Having said that, the fact that Ryan Reynolds was adamant in making sure that Hugh Jackman returned to the role and stayed with the process was more than enough for me as far as an incentive to go watch this film. The story is taking place more after Logan, when you think about it, the character of Wolverine did receive a nice emotional send-off with that film. You're probably wondering exactly how do they explain this return. Well, it is explained in the film. It's not done in a manner that makes it feel hokey or forced. It's actually quite clever when you think about it. Deadpool, Wade Wilson, has found himself in the throes of attempting to alter a specific timeline after he is abducted by the time variance authority system from the Loki series, and now he's finding himself within the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The beautiful thing about this specific film in and of itself, it doesn't necessarily branch out in totality in ballooning the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe. It is very much self-contained within its own story, without necessarily having to introduce this storyline or introduce this theme. Or it is more, to me, I view this as the absolute essence of giving a love letter to the fans, because it is more of a nostalgia type film than actually something that is supposed to have a deep, meaningful storyline to it. It's not to say that there isn't a story there, given how Marvel unfortunately has had several hits and misses as of late, especially when it comes to the expectations not being met with their overall product. But so I do believe, to an extent, perhaps this was intentional in saying, you know what, we don't want to overcomplicate things. Let's go ahead and just have this be a basic, simple story, giving the fans what they want, having a lot of nostalgia, cameos, and we'll go from there. This film is exactly what I do believe was what Marvel should have been making as far as the Deadpool series is concerned. Now, in totality, the another awesome thing about this film is that it's not contained by the Disney effect. It's very much true to this R-rated fashion. A lot of profanity, violence, blood, gore, sexual innuendos, and before you really find yourself thinking about whether or not to take your children to this, I necessarily wouldn't take, if I had a child, I would not take a child that is 5 or 6 years old to watch this film. Now, say 12, 13, or 14, it's not so much a big deal because they have already heard most of the profane language that they're most likely ever going to hear in school and on the internet and social media. So, but when it comes right down to it, this film succeeds on all levels when it comes to granting the fans exactly what they want. And you seeing Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds having the absolute blast of their life with their performances. It's not to say that there isn't heart in the film. I mean, Hugh Jackman definitely brings the true grit of the character of Wolverine. He's brooding, he's a loner, and he's racked with guilt, and he's more or less a straight man to Ryan Reynolds' goofball. It's interesting how they both have seamlessly have in and of themselves transitioned so easily within their roles as if they never left. And Ryan Reynolds once again shines as Deadpool, about what you'd expect with his wonderful humor and charismatic personality. Do you have Hugh Jackman returning to the role of Wolverine as if he never left either, and he looks absolutely amazing in the classic yellow spandex suit. Pure comic book accuracy, you can't go wrong with it. And the cameos, there's a lot of cameos here, and I'm not going to spoil any of them. When there was quite a few of them that I was not expecting. Let me just, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and be honest. I wasn't expecting any of these cameos except for the one that was already in one of the trailers. But other than that, the rest of the cameos that you see is just wonderfully mind-blowing. It's pure comic book bliss coming to life, especially the beginning action sequence is I was right then and there sold on the concept. Hearing one of the most catchiest pop songs in music history with the blatant comic book references and how it was filmed was amazing. You have, once again, the fight sequences between Deadpool and Wolverine, and the last sequence at the very end is just, I can't put in, for me personally, I can't put into words exactly how it made me feel watching that scene come to life, because it's one of the coolest one take sequences in cinematic history. So with that being said, again, it's not a deep story. Don't go in expecting any kind of philosophical deep message. Just go in knowing that this is what you're going to receive, and that it's all about providing service to the fans, love letters to the fans, and that is what I came to watch. Be purely entertained, immersed within the full escapism of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and having just a comic book come to life. It was just, and in hindsight, when you really think about it, I don't believe it's necessary to even continue on with Deadpool as a solo outing, because I don't really believe there's anywhere you could go with that character. Now you could just essentially have him show up randomly in other Marvel Cinematic Universe shows, films, cartoons, what have you. But as I said, what is more important in actuality is both Wolverine and Deadpool are now officially in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and it's wonderful to see. And I had a great time watching this film. It's by far one of the most exciting adventures that I've had in the movie theater, especially when it came to Marvel Comics. I thought it was wonderful. It was just exciting, entertaining, very funny, comedic. Surprisingly, some heartfelt moments in there that was really tugged at the emotional strings. But other than that, had a blast. I'd highly recommend it. 2 thumbs up, 10 out of 10. Let me know in the comment section what you thought about it, if you have watched the film. And if you haven't, please be sure to go out and check it out, because I do believe you will find some significant enjoyment out of it. That is my review of Deadpool and Wolverine. I hope you all remain safe. Take care and peace out.